All right, so this is episode 3 of the Blue Collar Marketing Podcast. I have a great guest here today, which is Devin from 410 Films.
How we doing, guys? Thank you for having me on.
Excellent. Yeah, I've been admiring your work for a while. Devin's from the Annapolis area as well.
Yes,
Devin does. He's worked with actually similar clients as a client I work with now, but also he works in yacht sales and everything boats. So great guest here. Devin does video just like as we do. And so I'm just going to ask you a few questions and learn some more about it.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great. I've liked your stuff as well. I've been following a lot of your Instagram stuff. Are you in TikTok as well with your content?
No TikTok. No TikTok.
I think you need to get
I'm
in
big
there
on YouTube Shorts.
I think you do good on the TikTok because it's like the same stuff, you know. But yeah, just your stuff has been really impressive. I wish I did more stuff like that for my own business. So props to that.
I love the industry you're in as well. It's the especially with Annapolis, I'm sure that's part of the reason, most of the reason why you got into it. Mm-hmm. But Devin does a great job at color grading as well. So the drone work is just insane.
Thank you.
But then telling the stories of these yacht brokers and for the boats and all sorts of cool water objects. Yeah. So speaking of that, how did you get started in video and why?
Yeah, so I've been kind of in love with it since I was a kid. Before YouTube was kind of a thing. We used to run around in the backyard and make short film. My mom had the big handy camcorder that people are buying now because it's retro or whatever. But yeah, we used to run around and just make backyard movie films with my friends, and then took some classes in high school and then ended up going to college for it. And then after that, I couldn't get a job actually out of college because everybody wanted you to have 4 years work experience. You could get a job being a PA or something and running and getting coffee for a couple of years. But I just had more interest in really learning the video stuff, and with YouTube and everything these days, you can really teach yourself online. So I just started looking for clients and met some friends that gave me jobs. They were marketing professionals or different things like that, and just got little jobs here and there, and then started working my way up from there. And I've been in business for 6.5 years now under 410 Films. So it's been good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. How about
Congrats.
you? How did you get your start actually?
So actually a little different than that. So I started a deck building company in college. So I was Waterfront Services. We built decks. We actually started painting docks originally, and then moved into building decks. So there I actually learned the marketing lead generation stuff, behind a home service industry. And then had to make a decision in college to, finish the degree in marketing or grow, a deck building company. And I went with the marketing degree. And from there, I used the equipment to start Woodshot, which was a company through the entrepreneurship program at Maryland. Mm-hmm. And so we were selling shot skis, cornholes, and stuff like that. And that's where I finally whipped out the iPhone. And I figured that I could actually, make something out of this. And there was so many learning curves just from that, where I didn't even know, resolution or anything like that, or how to get audio on a video. Mm-hmm. So I just played around with that for a while. Ended up actually winning that programs contest for revenue with Woodshot, and then I took one of the videos I made from there, and I actually showed it to the Let's Go festival. Mm-hmm. The people who were putting that on, they said, "Why don't you just go make that for us?"
Oh wow!
So from there, I realized that I could actually do this video, and it was something that I could bring to the market. So that was the main reason I got into it, is because it's something that I could sell, but also it shows all the marketing knowledge I had from my businesses before, and then from going to college for it, and I could package it all up and actually sell it to a small business.
Okay.
So just basically finding what the market needed and what I could provide for it was the reason why, and I love the business behind it as well.
Yeah, and that makes sense now. I didn't know that you had that background with a decking company, so that you're in home services. You've already kind of been in that niche anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so I was with Waterfront Services. It was basically first it was painting docks, and then painting decks, and then building decks. So I was actually, when I was building decks, I was just contracting that out to a licensed contractor. And so what I essentially was is just a lead generation company with sales. Yep. So I would sell it and then just contract it out to these two crews of contractors. So that's where I figured out that, I knew how to get homeowners to ultimately, submit their name and email and then sell them on. So then I went over and throughout the Let's Go, when I was filming there, I actually ran into the owner of Annapolis Painting Services and ended up working there and really honing in those skills and lead generation. But throughout that whole process, I was just learning video.
Yeah.
Right. I was just making as many videos as I could, and and honing in those skills as well. Speaking of that, what videos have you seen? How have you seen video actually help your clients, in your industry?
Yeah. So, I mean, just you can look anywhere now and you're going to see video, right? Like every year. I was actually going over some statistics with one of my big clients, and we just have like an annual meeting where we sit down and go through all their analytics. I do like lots of work for them throughout the year. And we were just showing like the massive spike basically in just website traffic that comes from YouTube. And over all of their other social medias, I think like 90% of their lead generation was from YouTube, not Facebook, not Instagram, none of that. And they don't do any paid advertising. So it's not like they're like plugging up like tons of viewership or anything like that, or like, what are they called? Boosted posts. So it's none of that, just authentic. We're making tons of content, just posting it. And 90% of their leads that were actually coming in and converting to their website was from YouTube. So we've like really doubled down over that on the past couple of years. And now they're doing like hundreds of thousands of views on boat videos. I think they're up to like 8,000 subscribers. So yeah, I mean, just overall. And then I have some other like larger clients as well. Like I work for like big brands. So like Beneteau is like a leading sailboat company.
Right.
And I do like most of their marketing content here in the United States and some of the stuff abroad. But some of their videos I know for a fact, like their sales manager here in the United States, he said like they sold one of these boats that is like $1 million. And he goes, I know for a fact like 5 of our buyers this year said that they saw the video and they called me after they saw the video. So like, I mean, you tell me what I don't know the exact margins on that, but you can guess it's like $200,000-$300,000 a boat. So that's like $1 million on, a video that cost them a few $1,000s. So, I mean, it's not a bad return on investment. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
And that's like evergreen content too. So that was just the first year the boat was out. So that boat will live for 10 years. So who knows how many boats and who knows how many people don't bring up the video but see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's different things like that that are just like super successful. And then also just like the consistency, I think, is the biggest thing. People talk about it all the time. Just posting consistently. Because you'll have people that will make a video once and then it'll get a couple hundred views and they'll be like, not really worth it, not worth my time. But like I said, even with that person that we've really doubled down, I've been working a lot with, and we've seen their numbers kind of skyrocket. They're posting videos like once a week to, like very good, high quality produced videos, and they're seeing like major gains on it. So It's nice to see that.
That is
because
nice.
When you like tell people about it, they're very skeptical, obviously, because, it is like pricey, I guess, and it is an investment, but the return on that investment can be so large compared to just like funneling money into boosted posts or print advertising or different things like that.
Right. I think a lot of people are coming around to it, especially when you're able to show the statistics and the results
100%.
off of that.
And that's definitely like something that I bring to like closing meetings and whatnot. Like,
Absolutely,
okay, look at what I was
case
able to
studies
do
and all
here.
that. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned YouTube. I think it's a very underrated platform right now, because I don't think what people understand is that obviously YouTube is owned by Google, right? So when you put a YouTube video on the website, it's actually directing even more people from Google onto the website, because they're actually embedding the video from YouTube on the website, and it brings them right to that page.
100%.
So YouTube's kind of a hard platform to like really get a ton of views unless you're really devoted to it, but you can obviously. But when you put it onto the website and you play with that, with the SEO and everything, it's a crazy great tool. Especially for, I work with home service companies, and one of the things that we're always looking to do is keep people on the website longer for SEO. So when we can get somebody, a viewer to go on the website and then watch even like a minute video, they're on that website for a minute longer. Yep. Which is, one of the things that is, if you already sold on SEO, you should now move onto video too, because it makes it so much better. So what I usually focus on is what's the best way to get video on the website. So what we do is we'll do about us videos, which is talking. You call them hero videos, but we're talking about the owners, maybe a sales manager on the video talking about the business, and then another really great video that we move towards is testimonials. Those pack in the social proof. They also have the effects of the SEO, all the stuff we talked about. And they're fairly easy, and they don't take too much time out of the business to produce. So I've been focusing on a lot of those, and then ultimately what you can do is you can cut that up into social media posts, and then now you have, from one interview you could have 3 social media posts to fill up on the social media too as well. So And then the last real big thing we do is we film for advertisements. So some industries are really great for Facebook advertising, and we'll generate a ton of leads off of that. And then we haven't really gotten to YouTube advertising yet, but that's something that I definitely want to look into.
Yeah.
But we've seen that when you use video effectively in the strategy, that's all these video guys they're moving towards trying to get that strategy down, because that's really you can make your videos go so much further.
Yeah.
So speaking of home services, how would you use video for a home service video? Or actually, you've worked with some home service companies. Yeah. So how have you used video in their strategy?
Yeah, I think just in general, I think you kind of just touched on a little bit too, is one of the things I've kind of been pushing is adding that like emotional appeal and I guess like a humanistic aspect to your videos. Cause like, especially in like home services, right? Like if you make decks, it's super easy to just start posting pictures of your project, right? And then just like only posting that, like, oh, look at a job we just did. And then skipping like say the testimonials or the about us stuff. But it's really crazy how much like adding like the human touch or the human aspect to your videos, whether it be testimonials from people or you being on camera talking about your business as the business owner, or even just employees talking, that makes people feel so much more comfortable to pick up the phone and call you. They know who they're going to be talking to, who they're going to be relating to. And this like goes across all markets, right? Like if you look at like car commercials, there's a reason that they're not just like showing off the car, right? It's always like a family going to the beach, and like the car isn't even like really shown until that last scene where they're just like the new Hyundai. Like,
right.
It's really more about the people and like the emotional appeal, right? So like if you're a deck company, maybe you have like a family come out and like having lunch out on the deck, and the kids like playing in the backyard, and like the husband and wife like cheers, and like next thing you know, it's just a big wide shot of the deck, right? Like that sells people on like the lifestyle and like what that deck is going to give them, like as far as meaning and purpose and like value to their life. Because without that, those experiences, like what is the deck, you know what I mean? So I think kind of trying to think about it more like that rather than like wood and we put it together like that, in that sense, can really just help sell people. And you, again, being connected to that and being able that when people pick up the phone, if you say you have like the About Us video, they know who's on the other end, right? They already feel comfortable. You were approachable. Please give us a call. Like we look forward to helping you make your dream project for you and your family. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're like already more off the bat willing to talk to you because they feel more comfortable with you just from like looking at that on your website compared to somebody who just has a bunch of listings with some text that they're probably not going to read, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I was just thinking about that. So there's, I had a client approach me, and they talking about video, and they actually came to me to do video because they want to take their brand and make it a bigger brand, right? So they have a really good service, right? So they have good products, good service, and they want to find a way to get that across, of course. But what they've found is that video actually it takes your brand and it brings you that next level, because websites, you can tell copy, you can say all this kind of stuff on the website about how great you are, but ultimately when you're making that connection with the owner of the company or employees of the company, it's such a bigger connection. And then you can repurpose content as well and edit it into ways that that show I always say dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So you can make video into like someone falls upon your website, they're really getting a glimpse of who you are. And with video, you can take motion pictures and just show people that this is a brand that's bigger than maybe even what it is, and that's how you can grow the company, especially through branding.
Yeah.
And then you can use it in elements like Facebook ads and Google ads and everything like that to actually get lead generation as well. So that can actually, the client acquisition itself can grow the brand, and obviously the SEO we talked about as well. So speaking of that, what is your favorite type of video to make for any client? We're talking about hero videos and other edits. What's your favorite type? That's
kind of a tough one because we do such like a variety of things. I would say like for me personally, it's literally just anything new. I do a lot of like repeat work. I guess you probably do a lot of the same kind of stuff. Like for boats, like we do walkthroughs, right? So it's the same kind of thing on a different listing. Same thing with like houses if you were in the real estate market, or a lot of that stuff can be repeat. So anytime I have like a new client that's like maybe a different industry, or they're looking to do something a little bit different, that's really exciting for me to like take that approach rather than we already know what we need. Like it's the same kind of thing. Even like hero films and about us, those can get a bit repetitive because a lot of the times it's the same, like we are 100% communication based and we will, we live up to service, customer satisfaction guarantee, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the same kind of bullet points. So it is fun when we get to do different projects or commercial based stuff. Like I said, like if we were going to do the deck commercial and working with kids and seeing them like have a good time on camera, like that's always a blast. And being able to put that together in post and really create something different rather than like a very strict, almost like preset idea for the vision, if that makes sense. So I just really like doing new things.
Good.
Anytime it's a new industry.
Yeah. So you talked about so one of the videos that we like to make a lot is we do pretty much a lot of them, but testimonials.
Yep.
So we usually start off with About Us because I think it's a good base for the website. So you'll for the About Us you'll get, like I said, the owner and everyone on film to talk about the business. But then, that's, again, what you're saying about your business, and that's great to have. You definitely should have that right away. But then we want to move to making the customer part of the story. So if they had a deck built for them, and it just you can show the whole deck and actually the building of that one or a different one, and then having the customer's face and words about how the experience went, it can really push people over the fence and have them use that social proof to ultimately make a decision to actually work with this person or this company.
Yeah. And just to add on that too, when we do the About Us videos or like the hero films, basically it's almost guaranteed now whenever I make them that we're going to at least have one or two testimonials in them.
Right.
I find that like we used to just, when I started out, right, we'd have you sit down, talk about your business for 3 minutes and put all the B-roll in and all that. But now I actually have you come in and do your interview and hit your major points. And then I'll go do the testimonial videos and try to get them, but hopefully have supporting arguments so that you can make a claim and then your real clients back up the claim, right? So it's almost like how you have like supporting arguments when you used to write a paper in like high school. You'd have to like make your claim and then here's why. So your testimonials are the why, right? Because if you say it, who knows if it's true, you know what I mean? That's kind of like the evidence behind it. So you could say like, we're super, we have great communication skills and anytime you need us, you can call us. And then the next clip would be your testimonial of the person being like, anytime I had a problem, I called them up, they were there for me. It was great. I was picture perfect, clear the whole way through. And
so you've been packaging them up with the About Us, so you'll put in the same video.
It's part of the About Us.
Oh,
so
really?
Like,
Okay.
I mean, we can definitely always repurpose it, right? Into like additional clips and whatnot. But it's like part of my About Us packages because with like, I just find that sells so much more. It's so much more authentic because it is authentic, right? Like these are real people. It's not just you sitting at a desk. Like anyone can put on a smiling face and say I'm the best at something. But when you have people sitting there also backing it up in the same video, it makes people feel so much more comfortable. So incorporating those just even into your main story content is like so great.
Right. Having that social proof from a testimonial of a happy client. And then, like you said, repurposing it, you can make a full testimonial video for, you have the website page that has reviews on them, right? Why not put 3 testimonials on there? Because ultimately, how many people are really going to read all those reviews instead of just watching 1 or 2, 3 testimonials?
Yeah, and even
so
like when we
doing that, and then also and then put it on social media as well. It's awesome.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, and when we shoot those too, like we only end up using maybe a couple lines, right, that like support whatever the main message is. But we'll have like a 5-minute interview. So there's tons of like good testimonial footage that doesn't even really get used unless it's repurposed. So yeah, there's always like extra footage too on top of that you're just getting in the process anyway. So you can get a lot of like bang for your buck, even though the project as a whole may seem like a lot of money, right, for one video. If you're smart about it and really repurpose that stuff, it can go a long way.
Right. Yeah. So with 410 Films, right. So what, where do you see that headed in the future and with the brand and the company? Yeah.
So, I mean, we've just been trying to grow and get into bigger markets, I guess, in the boating industry. I'm also trying to expand out of the boating industry. I think the real estate industry would be pretty good at our like price points and whatnot. I found it difficult to find I need like a good, probably like commercial broker or like a big Sotheby's broker that has like pretty big listings consistently, just to make it work on like the marketing budgets and whatnot that they have for listings. But I feel like that definitely is like a good expansion option, especially I just picture like apartment buildings and whatnot. Whereas like if you're trying to rent out like 50 or maybe 100 apartments, right?
Right.
And you have like the building's brand new and you have your model floor plan or whatever. just having like that kind of video and whatnot on the website to kind of show off the listing, and maybe even have some lifestyle stuff of people. All the apartments now are so crazy with all the amenities and pools and like crazy stuff they have. So I think that that's like a huge opportunity that I haven't really seen explored much even on their websites and stuff. So hopefully grow into that and just keep just growing into other segments.
Right. There's no shortage of clients. Video is one of those things that it's breaking out right now where everyone can use it, small, medium, and large. So that's one of the things that we're looking to do at BlueWorks Pro is break into bigger markets as well, or bigger companies. So we want to be able to deliver those about us videos, but also those testimonials and other website videos to like medium to large companies in the home service space that maybe don't want to work with a big video production company, but they want more volume for their website so that they can have the effects of video, and then ultimately have video for Instagram Reels, and then for YouTube pages. So we're looking for more of a volume sense where we start with high quality video on the website. So we'll get the about us, testimonials, website videos, and then move to advertising, and then ultimately start on that social media so we can build that brand even bigger. I've seen so many home service companies that they seem like they have, even like big corporations, they have locations all around the country, and they have, a few social media posts. And one of the things you can do is you can actually work, if they have a branch nearby, you can build that corporate page out just from that branch.
Yep.
Same with testimonials. Something that a lot of people don't think about or know about is that for home service companies, there's these pages called, or actually any service-based company, they have what's called city pages. So like in like Severna Park, Annapolis, Arnold, they all have their own individual pages. So what we found is really effective is you put a testimonial on each one of those pages, and you go into YouTube and you put the video there, and you actually put where it was filmed. Right, so you say it was filmed in Severna Park. You load the description up with keywords, and you put them on each individual city pages. So that's a huge SEO boost for that area. So you can have a company like a larger corporation that has all these city pages. They can have a bigger reach because they have video on each one of those pages of a customer in that area saying how they've helped them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's where you can start looking at like bigger companies that can't work with they can work with video production companies, but video production, like big production companies, can't do that kind of volume of filling on their testimonial pages.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
And social media as well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you think has been like the biggest, or have you noticed, I guess, in like when the work you've done so far, like the biggest factor, I guess, and what's been successful so far, like on your different marketing campaigns? Right.
So the biggest factor that we've seen is probably on the advertising side. So we'll take video and use it within that strategy. So on Facebook ads and Google ads. So Facebook ads first is we'll actually put a 30-second video down, on the Facebook ads, and then people who watch 50% of that, we can retarget with an offer.
Okay.
And
that's all done through Facebook?
Yeah, we'll do that on Facebook. Yep. And then on Google ads, you just use the typical methods of getting Google ads, buying keywords, but then we'll draw them to landing pages filled with video. So that's maybe the about us, testimonials, and then at the end we'll do a call to action video. So right by that contact us form, we'll have the owner actually just giving a rundown of what it looks like to work with them.
Nice.
And then how to fill out the form, and then what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So it's you can do Facebook ads and Google ads, but when you add video on it, it's like adding gas to the fire. It's such a more effective
and just having a good like channel for them to go down once that ad works, right? Like once you get the click-through rate, not just having a wall of text that they're going to click off of immediately, right? Like if you don't have a good landing page.
Right. I found like clients, some clients will come to us and say they want just this one video because it's gonna really work in this situation, and then but it's great and all, but there's some clients that would say we want to use video in our strategy like fully, so then we'll build out their whole website and their Facebook ads and their Google ads with video effectively, so that they can reap the rewards of video.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So, I appreciate you coming by up here to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me. It was nice to meet you finally, and look forward to seeing what you do with it.
I'm hoping to find an opportunity to work together too.
Oh yeah.
Get out on the water, or
100%.
come on a deck and come film that with us.
Yes, sir. I
Excellent.
look forward to it.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.